I call this show Volume Beats Vanity. And what this is based on the live show from a couple of days ago, August 6th. And I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine named Charles Higgins from Pinnacle AI. And we were on a coaching call. And someone on the coaching call asked about how Charles gets out so much content. And I was curious also. I know that there's all kinds of things for repurposing and syndicating. And Charles gave a detailed plan of how he gets up early in the morning because he doesn't have a lot of time. And he's able to use AI to generate shorts, generate reels, generate blog posts, generate the images, generate all that stuff. And he never has to be on camera, and all of it's AI. And my mind started remembering a couple of things that have conflicted in my head. One of them being the fact that I just wish that we could all be authentic all the time. And every podcast, like the one you're listening to right now, which is 100% real, and every image and every blog post and every reel was 100% authentic and new and genuine. However, in the world of internet marketing and in the content game, that is not true. You can either stay a purist like that, or you can adopt the mindset of volume beats vanity. And what I mean by that is the person who can get out the most content in the shortest period of time is going to ultimately win in the marketing and the content game. We live in a world of content-eating machines. For several decades now, we've had search engines. You have the Googles and the Yahoos and the MSNs in the world. And these things are constantly crawling the web looking for recent and relevant content. Okay? And then here in the past couple of years, the AI engines have come along, and those things are even worse. Those things are constantly looking for new content to consume, to be able to feed their databases, to provide their users with relevant information. So if you're the kind of person who takes a long time to make a video, or a long time to make this podcast I'm making, for example, or a long time to create an image or write a blog post, if you take days or weeks to do things like that for things to be perfect, then you are going to lose in the content game. The Charleses of the world are the ones winning because they are cranking out a lot of content. I think he said that he posts daily. There's a short daily, social media update daily, a reel daily, an AI reel. He uses a blog post, a YouTube video, all that. He's doing that daily. Search engines go off of recency and relevancy. So if a search engine is crawling my site and I'm updating a blog post once a day, and they're crawling my buddy Charles's site, and he's creating like the perfect blog post once a week or once a month or once a quarter or something like that, I am going to win. If you can produce a lot of content in a short period of time and keep it updated regularly on what people are searching for, you are going to win the content game. And this isn't just like content on your website. This is like even on social media. And I'm sure you're aware that content on social media decays so rapidly. And what I mean by decay, if you've never heard that word before, is very much like when, the body decays or food decays. As soon as it hits the internet, a social media update has a very limited life cycle, somewhere in the span of 4 to 6 hours. You put an update on there about some good business advice or the lasagna you had last night and how great it was. 6 hours from that, max, social media will stop sharing that to other people. Why? Everybody, millions and millions of people are putting out content regularly. They can't afford to show your cool lasagna picture or your business tip to someone for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. You've got 4 to 6 hours for that, which is why you should be updating social media pretty frequently also, every 4 to 6 hours. But right now, we're really going to focus on content. And what I mean by content are videos on your website, videos on YouTube, or text-based content, which is the ultimate best content because that's what the AI crawlers and that's what the search engine crawlers really love. Is we're not really good yet at indexing the content inside of a video, but the text content, like a blog, let's stick to blogs. If you are blogging daily or multiple times a day, then you are so going to win the content game. It's not going to be perfect blog posts. They're not going to be amazing blog posts. They're going to be maybe 60 to 70% of the way there. You can't do this, though, if you're going to be someone who's a purist, like an SEO purist. If you like to run your blog post through a search atlas or an Ahrefs to see, does it have the right keyword density? Is the SEO perfect in the title and the meta description? We're not looking for that. We're going for quantity over quality, or volume beats vanity is what I called it right there. So if you're somebody who really wants more traffic to your website and you want to make more sales, learn how to take advantage of technology to create content frequently and to create content rapidly. It is not hard. I'm not going to sit here and list all the tools you can use to create content this fast, but easily things like ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude. Those are 3 of probably 100 text-based content generation tools. If you get good at any of those, especially if you learn to train, like in GPT, you can have like private ones, or you can have custom ones. If you get good at training an AI engine on your voice and your keywords, then it's going to be nothing for you to whip into an AI engine and say, hey, generate me a 500-word blog post on why AI is the coolest topic I need to know now. Or generate me a 600-word blog post on the different types of cheeses you can put on lasagna. And you've seen that these search engines can crank out a blog post like that in seconds. You copy that, you paste that onto your site, you ask the AI tool to generate a branded image, you drop that in your blog, bam. It should take you all of 5 minutes, maybe 10, to crank out a new blog post. Will it be perfect? No, it will not. But it will be recent and it will be relevant. And Google will love you for it. And ChatGPT will love you for it. All things being equal, and I've taught this in many a class and keynote engagements, all things being equal, anyone's website that has the more recently updated content and the more relevant updated content will get ranked higher and will get the traffic. Those are the 2 main things. I love to see people overthink SEO, but the only 2 words you have to remember in the word of the content game are recency and relevancy. Is your article somewhat relevant to what someone is searching for? And that shouldn't be hard if you're doing 365 blog posts every single year. And even that number, like my buddy Charles, he's doing more than that every single year because he's got multiple blogs. But if Google is crawling my website and Google is crawling your website and it's the exact same basic content and mine was written today and yours was written a week ago, I'm going to get that traffic out of Google because Google sees that my website is the one that is updated more recently. So just don't forget that we're out there dealing with these content beasts, these search engines and these AI search engines and these geographical search engines, which are consuming content like mad crazy. And we have to feed these beasts. So get out of your head when it comes to thinking about creating content. This podcast right here, I put about 5 minutes of thought into this. Now, admittedly, I did have an outline from a live stream I did earlier, but I already have a pretty good idea of what I want to talk about when I press record on the mic. And if you've heard me say some ahs and ums and stumble over some words. Now, if I was a purist, a podcast purist, I would go back and edit those out and clean them up and things like that, but I don't care. My job is to record this podcast right now and get it out. And again, what's going to happen? I'm going to beat the person who has been planning a podcast for a week. Right now it's August 7th. I'm going to beat the person who's been planning their podcast episode since August 1st and won't get it recorded for another week. So really focus on recency and relevancy when it comes to protecting your content, when it comes to creating your content game, and make sure you feed these beasts on a regular basis. You and I are competition in the content world. And the more content you can crank out, the more you're going to beat me. And of course, there's always paid traffic. We're not referring to paid traffic. That's a whole other game. We're referring to organic traffic, organic free traffic. If you want more organic free traffic, and when someone asks you if you want more organic free traffic, you should 100% say yes. If you want more organic free traffic, then learn to get good at feeding the beasts. Get out of your head. Quit trying to be perfect. Quit trying to say, oh, AI generated this blog post for me. It's not authentic. I don't want to seem like I'm not authentic. I responded to somebody on the internet today that says, you know what, you can sit there on your high hill of authenticity, and I'm going to sit over here on my high hill of traffic and ergo money. Okay, which hill would you rather sit on? The traffic and money hill? Or would you rather sit on, I have integrity and I created every single word in my blog post from scratch, so I know it's pure. You make the choice. If you have any questions, as always, hit me up on social media. It's Patrick Allman, or look for Stop Doing Nothing Media, and let me know if this has been useful. I'll see you on the next podcast.